Well, howdy there, folks. It's your old pal, Grandpa Joe here, sitting in my comfy rocker with a cup of Joe, ready to spin you a yarn over this here YouTube. Gather round the screen, 'cause this one's got heart, hurt, and a heap of justice coming down the pike. It's called Cop Slaps Black Boy at the Park, unaware his father is the new police chief. Now, this ain't no tall tale. It's fresh from my imagination, but it feels as real as the wrinkles on my face. Let me set the scene in a little town called Oak Ridge, right here in good old America, where the parks are green and folks mostly get along. Our young hero's name is Jamal Washington, a bright-eyed 12-year-old with a smile that could light up the 4th of July. Jamal loved nothing more than shooting hoops at Lincoln Park after school. He was out there one sunny afternoon in June, dribbling his basketball like a pro, minding his own business. His mama, Lisa, was working the late shift at the hospital, and his daddy, Marcus, well, he was off doing big things we'll get to later. Now enter Officer Derek Harlan, a burly cop with a badge that shone brighter than his manners. Derek had been on the force for 20 years, and let's just say he had a chip on his shoulder bigger than Texas when it came to folks who didn't look like him. He was patrolling the park that day, looking for trouble where there wasn't none. Jamal, being the polite kid he was, waved hello as Derek strolled by. But Derek, oh boy, he took one look at Jamal, black skin, baggy shorts, and that ball, and his blood boiled for no good reason. "Hey kid, what you doing here? This park ain't for loitering." Derek barked, his voice like gravel under boots. Jamal stopped dribbling, confused as a calf in a new pen. "I'm just playing basketball, sir. It's a public park." But Derek wasn't hearing it. He stepped closer, towering over the boy, and before Jamal could blink, smack! Derek's hand flew across Jamal's cheek, leaving a red welt that stung like fire. Jamal stumbled back, tears welling up, but he didn't cry out. The other kids scattered like leaves in the wind, and a few folks gasped from the benches. "That'll teach you to talk back," Derek snarled, adjusting his belt like nothing happened. He didn't know Jamal's last name, didn't care. But oh, if he only knew who Jamal's daddy was. The new police chief, Marcus Washington, who'd just transferred in from the big city, keeping a low profile till his official start next week. Jamal ran home that day, cheek burning, heart aching. He burst through the door where his grandma, Ethel, was baking pies. "What happened, baby?" she asked, pulling him close. Jamal told her everything, fighting back sobs. Ethel's face hardened like stone. She called Lisa at work, and soon the family was buzzing. Marcus was out of town for training, but when he got the call that evening, his blood ran cold. "Nobody touches my boy," he muttered into the phone, his voice steady but fierce. That slap wasn't just a hit. It was a spark that'd ignite a firestorm. Folks in Oak Ridge whispered about it, but Derek? He went home, popped a bee, thinking he'd taught a lesson. Little did he know, the real lesson was coming his way. Stick around for part 2, where things heat up. Thanks for listening, y'all. Hit that like button if you're rooting for justice. Hey again, everybody. Grandpa Joe back at it, rocking in my chair with another chapter of our tale. If you missed part 1, go back and catch up. It's where that no-good cop slaps young Jamal at the park. Now, let's dive into the aftermath, where emotions run high and the Washington family circles the wagons. Back at the Washington home on Maple Street, the air was thick as molasses. Jamal sat on the couch, ice pack pressed to his cheek, staring at the floor like it held all the answers. His mama, Lisa rushed in from her nurse shift, her scrub still on, eyes wide with fury. "Who did this to my baby?" she demanded, kneeling down to inspect the bruise. Jamal recounted the story again, his voice shaken like a leaf in a storm. "He just hit me, Mom. I didn't do nothing." Lisa's heart broke right there. She hugged him tight, whispering promises of making it right. Grandma Ethel bustled in the kitchen, slamming pots to vent her anger. That officer's got no right, in broad daylight no less. The family had faced their share of prejudice. Marcus growing up in the South, Lisa dealing with it at work. But this was their child, their future. When Marcus called back, his voice boomed through the speakerphone. "Jamal, son, you okay? Tell me every detail." Jamal did, fighting tears. Marcus, a tall, no-nonsense man who'd climbed the ranks through sheer grit, felt a rage he'd never known. But he kept cool, like the chief he was. "We're filing a report first thing. Derek Harlan, you said. I'll handle this personally." That night, the family gathered round the dinner table, eating Ethel's fried chicken in silence at first. Then Marcus, still on the line, shared stories from his youth. How he'd been profiled, pushed around, but rose above it. "This ain't the end, Jamal. It's a beginning. You'll see strength in standing up." Jamal nodded, feeling a spark of resolve amid the hurt. Word spread through Oak Ridge like wildfire. Neighbors stopped by with casseroles, sharing their own run-ins with Derek. "He's always had it out for us," said Mr. Jenkins from down the street. The local NAACP chapter got wind, and calls for action started bubbling. But Derek, he laughed it off at the station, bragging to his buddies. "Just a punk kid needing discipline." His partner, Officer Ramirez, shifted uncomfortably but said nothing. Marcus arrived home late that night, pulling Jamal into a bear hug. "I'm proud of you for not fighting back, son. That's real power." They talked till dawn about dreams, racism, and revenge, not through fists, but justice. Marcus revealed his new role quietly. "As of Monday, I'm chief. But we do this right. No shortcuts." Jamal slept fitfully, dreaming of that slap. The next day they marched to the station to file the complaint. Derek was there, smirking behind the desk. "What's this about?" he asked, not recognizing Marcus yet. Lisa glared daggers. "Assault on a minor, by you." Derek's face paled a bit, but he shrugged. "Kids these days." Little did he know, the storm was brewing. Marcus held back, planning his moves like a chess master. The family bonded deeper that week, Jamal finding solace in his dad's stories of triumph. But the pain lingered, fueling a fire for change. Hang tight for part 3, where Marcus steps into his power. Y'all subscribe so you don't miss it. Grandpa Joe's got more where that came from. Welcome back, friends. It's Grandpa Joe again, creaking in my rocker, sipping my coffee, and diving into part 3 of our story. If you're just joining, catch up on parts 1 and 2, where Jamal gets slapped by that rotten cop and the family rallies. Now, things get interesting as Marcus Washington steps up as the new police chief. Monday morning rolled in like a thundercloud over Oak Ridge PD. Marcus strode through the doors in his crisp uniform, badge gleaming under the fluorescent lights. The station buzzed with whispers. Folks knew a new chief was coming. But seeing Marcus, a black man with a no-BS stare, caught him off guard. The old chief, retiring after 30 years, shook his hand. "Welcome aboard, Washington. Department's yours." Marcus nodded, surveying the room. His eyes locked on Derek Harlan, lounging at his desk, feet up like he owned the place. Derek glanced up, smirking. New boss, huh? Hope you ain't soft. Marcus smiled thinly. We'll see about that. He didn't tip his hand. Not yet. First order, a staff meeting. Listen up, Marcus boomed. We're cleaning house. Accountability starts now. Any misconduct? It's out the door. After the meeting, Marcus dove into files, including the complaint Lisa filed. Multiple reports on Derek. Harassment, excessive force, mostly against minorities. This guy's a walking lawsuit, Marcus muttered to his deputy Sarah Mills, a straight shooter who'd seen enough. She nodded. He's got friends in high places, Chief. Be careful. Back home, Jamal was healing, the bruise fading, but the memory fresh. He asked Marcus, Dad, what if nothing happens? Marcus ruffled his hair. Trust the process, son. Revenge ain't rushed. It's righteous. Lisa worried, pacing the kitchen. Don't let it consume you, Marcus. But he was determined, channeling years of systemic BS into action. Marcus launched an internal investigation quietly. He interviewed witnesses from the park, Mrs. Patel from the ice cream stand, who saw the whole thing. That officer just hauled off and hit the boy. No reason. Body cam footage? Derek forgot to turn it on. Convenient. But park security cams caught it clear as day. Marcus reviewed the tape in his office, fists clenching. Gotcha. Community pressure mounted. A town hall meeting drew crowds. Jamal's story, front and center. Folks shared tales of Derek's abuses. He's terrorized us for years, shouted one man. Marcus listened from the back, taking notes. Derek, hearing the rumble, got cocky. He cornered Ramirez. They can't touch me. I've got dirt on half this department. But Marcus was building a case, like a fortress. He met with the DA, sharing evidence. This is assault, plain and simple. The DA nodded. We'll back you. At home, the family felt the shift. Grandma Ethel baked Marcus's favorite cobbler. You're making a difference, son. Jamal beamed, seeing his dad as a hero. As days passed, Derek felt the heat. Suspensions loomed for others like him. He stormed into Marcus's office one evening. Who do you think you are coming in here? Marcus leaned back. The chief. And you? You're done. Derek's eyes widened. Recognition hit. Wait, that kid at the park, he's yours? Marcus's gaze was steel. Bingo. The revelation hit Derek like a freight train. Sweat beaded on his brow, but Marcus held firm. Investigation's ongoing. Justice come and stay tuned for part 4, where the confrontation boils over. Like and share if you're hooked, y'all. Grandpa Joe appreciates it. Howdy, subscribers. Grandpa Joe here once more, settling in for part 4 of our emotional revenge saga. If you ain't caught up, pause and watch the earlier parts. 'Cause now, the pot's boiling over as Marcus faces down Derek in a showdown of justice. Weeks into his tenure, Marcus had the department humming like a well-oiled machine. Training on bias, community outreach, real change. But Derek? He was squirming like a worm on a hook. The investigation piled up. Witness statements, video evidence, even old complaints resurfacing. Derek tried rallying his cronies, whispering in the locker room. This new chief's out for blood. We gotta push back, but loyalty was cracking. Folks saw the wind changing. At home, the Washingtons were healing. Jamal returned to the park, basketball in hand, but with buddies now, safety in numbers. Lisa organized a support group for families hit by police misconduct. We're turning pain into power, she said. Marcus shared updates over dinner. It's close, folks. Derek's days are numbered. Jamal fist-bumped him. Make him pay, Dad. The break came mid-July. Marcus called Derek into his office. Derek sauntered in, feigning confidence. What now, Chief? Marcus slid the file across the desk. Assault on a minor. Multiple counts of misconduct. You're suspended. Effective immediately. Derek's face turned beet red. You can't. That kid, your kid, had it coming. Marcus stood towering. My son. And you slapped him for existing. That's not policing. That's prejudice. Derek exploded. I've served this town longer than you've been here. You think you can waltz in and ruin me? Marcus stayed calm, recording the meeting. Your words just sealed it. Turn in your badge. Derek lunged forward, but Sarah burst in, cuffing him. You're under arrest for threatening an officer. As they hauled him out, Derek yelled, This is revenge. Marcus replied coolly, No, Harlan. This is justice. The news hit Oak Ridge like a bombshell. Headlines screamed, Cop arrested by new chief, victim his own son. Protests turned to cheers. The DA charged Derek with assault and civil rights violations. At trial prep, evidence was ironclad. Derek's friends flipped, testifying against him to save their skins. For the family, it was cathartic. Jamal testified via video, voice strong. He hurt me, but he won't break me. Lisa held Marcus's hand in court, tears of pride. Grandma Ethel prayed nightly. Community rallied, fundraisers for Jamal's college fund, calls for reform. Derek, in jail awaiting trial, got a taste of his own medicine. No special treatment, just cold bars and regret. He wrote a begging letter to Marcus. I didn't know. Please, mercy. Marcus read it aloud to the family, then tore it up. Mercy, like you showed my boy. Revenge felt sweet, but Marcus focused on legacy. He implemented body cams mandatory, diversity hiring. Jamal inspired, dreamed of law school. To help folks like us, Dad, the bond deepened, scars turning to strength. But the story ain't over. Part 5 brings the full circle. Hit subscribe, y'all, and tell Grandpa Joe in the comments, what's your take on justice? See you soon. Well, hello there, my YouTube family. Grandpa Joe wrapping up our tale with part 5. If you've stuck with me through the slaps, the schemes, and the showdowns, bless your hearts. Now, let's see how justice rolls in and the Washingtons find their happy ending. The trial kicked off in August, Oak Ridge Courthouse packed tighter than a can of sardines. Derek Harlan sat there, suit rumpled, lawyer sweating bullets. The prosecution, backed by Marcus's ironclad case, laid it out. Video of the slap, witnesses galore, a pattern of abuse stretching back years. Jamal took the stand bravely, looking Derek in the eye. You hit me because of how I look, but I'm stronger now. The jury, diverse as America should be, nodded solemnly. Derek's defense? Weak as watered-down tea. Heat of the moment, his lawyer claimed. A cross-exam shredded it. Former colleagues testified Harlan targeted black folks routinely. When Marcus spoke, the room hushed. As chief, I swore to protect all. But as a father, seeing my son hurt, it fueled reform. Lisa wiped tears. Jamal squeezed her hand. After deliberations shorter than a coffee break, the verdict. Guilty on all counts. Assault, misconduct, the works. Judge hammered the gavel. 5 years, no parole. And a message to bad apples. You're out. Derek's head dropped, cuffs clinking as they led him away. Outside, cheers erupted. Reporters swarmed Marcus. How's it feel? He smiled. Like breathing fresh air. Back home, the family celebrated quietly. Ethel's barbecue, neighbors joined in. Jamal hugged Marcus. Thanks, Dad, for fighting. Marcus knelt. You fought too, son. By being you. Lisa added, we're proud. The slap scar faded, replaced by resilience. Jamal started a youth group at school, teaching kids about rights. No more silence, he said. Oak Ridge changed too. Under Marcus, crime dropped, trust rose. Community picnics at the park, where it all started, became tradition. Derek? He rotted in prison, letters ignored, learning the hard way. Rumors said he regretted it deeply, but too late. Years on, Jamal graduated top of his class, heading to college on scholarships from supporters. Marcus retired honored, passing the baton. We turned pain to purpose, he told Jamal at graduation. The boy, now a young man, grinned. And revenge to redemption. That's the end, folks. A story of hurt, heart, and healing. Remember, justice ain't always swift, but it's worth the wait. If this touched ya, like, comment, and subscribe for more tales from Grandpa Joe. What's your favorite part? Share below. God bless, and see ya next time.